Alright, number 11. This is review unit 4A. We have 2x squared plus x minus 3 times 4x minus 3. So this is just a multiplication problem. We're going to distribute. We'll take 2x squared times 4x. That gives me 8x cubed. 2x squared times negative 3 is negative 6x squared. And then I'll take the x times 4x, and that gives me 4x squared. And x times negative 3 is negative 3x. And then we'll take the negative 3 times 4x and get negative 12x. Negative 3 times negative 3 is a positive 9. So you distribute, and then you'll look for your like terms. So I have an 8x cubed. It does not have a like term. And I have a negative 6x squared and a positive 4x squared. I'm going to combine those. That gives me negative 2x squared. And then I have a negative 3x and a minus 12x. So I'll combine those. Negative 3 minus 12 is negative 15x. And then we have the plus 9 on the end. So we're done. Alright, question number 12, we are dividing. We're going to use this law for our exponent. If you have a to the m divided by a to the n, the rule says to subtract the exponents. So for the x, I've got x to the third over x to the seventh. 3 minus 7 is negative 4. For the y's, I've got negative 4 minus a negative 1. Be careful with your signs. Minus minus is plus, so it's really negative 4 plus 1, which is negative 3. You notice that both of these exponents are negative. They are up in the attic. They are not happy. They're scared. We have to bring them down. And once we bring them down, we will end up with 1 over x to the fourth, y to the third. Once you move them, everything's happy and you're done. Question number 13, again there's a parenthesis and an exponent. We have to multiply the exponents once we see that. Make sure you can notice that. Remember that everything has an exponent. Even this 3 right here has got an exponent of 1. So I'm going to write down negative 3, and I'll go 1 times 3 is 3. Write down the x. Negative 5 times 3 is negative 15. Bring down the y. 2 times 3 is 6. Alright? And then you notice that this exponent is a negative on the x. So it's not happy, it's up in the attic, it needs to be brought down. So this negative 3 is to the third power. It is totally happy where it's at. Just because the base is negative has no impact on whether we move it. It's all about the exponents. So I am going to figure out what is negative 3 to the third power. So negative 3 times negative 3 is positive 9. Positive 9 times negative 3 is a negative 27. So that negative 3 to the third becomes negative 27. Again, we don't care about negative numbers. It's negative exponents that we have to take care of. The y to the sixth, that's positive, so it's totally happy. But this x to the negative 15th we have to bring down, and once we do that we are completely finished. Number 14 is similar to number 13. You have this parenthesis and an exponent. We're going to multiply. So I have a negative 3, and then 1 times negative 3 is negative 3. You've got the x. Negative 5 times negative 3 is 15. And then we have the y. 2 times negative 3 is negative 6. So this is very similar to 13, but now do you notice that on this negative 3 as your base, the exponent's negative. The x is positive, it's happy, and the y is negative. So we need to switch some things around. I'm going to keep the x to the 15th in the numerator. It is totally happy in the attic. And I need to bring down the other two. I need to bring down the negative 3 to the third, which, what is negative 3 to the third power? That's negative 27. So I'm just going to move a negative 27 to the bottom and then bring down the y to the sixth. And we're done. Again, remember that it's not the negative base. We can care less what that sign is. The only reason it moves is because of the exponents. So this exponent is negative. That's why it had to be dropped down. The other one here is positive, and that's why it got to stay in the top. So make sure you're aware of that difference.